Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the second hour of News and Views right here on Salam Media. A warm welcome to our Palakwani listeners on One Nation FM. And coming up in this second hour, we'll be talking with academic and humanitarian, and that, of course, is Professor Sandile Amina Ngubani. Her story of faith, inshallah. Also on the show, we'll talk with National Sea Rescue Institute Craig Lambanon regarding the spring tides that have hit the Western Cape. But first up, we will be talking with the newly elected president of SAHUC, that is Hafiz Moaaz Casoo, Hafiz Moaaz Casoo, and let's understand what's in store going forward for SAHUC. Assalamu alaikum to you and congratulations for being appointed the new president of SAHUC. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Julie, and to the listeners of Salam Media. I trust that everybody is doing well, and shukran for the well wishes.
A pleasure. A huge task ahead of you, is it not?
Oh, yes, indeed. I think first and foremost, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for providing me the opportunity, and also within the National General Council members for providing me the opportunity to be elected as the president of this amazing organization. I think I would like to acknowledge and pay tribute to all the previous presidents and members of SAHUC for their part in growing this organization and for laying the foundation for us today. I mean, we've had giants in the form of Gora Ibrahim, Saleh Mani, Ahmed Sheikh, Sheikh Zafir Najah, Dr. Ram Saluji, Maulana Ihsan Hendricks, Imam Hashim Saleh, Maulana Muhammad Vaid, and Shaheen Isup, who have occupied this position previously.
Alhamdulillah, I see Shaheen is now a board member. He's still going to be involved with SAHUC. And obviously, you would be relying on the support of not only Shaheen, but all of the board members and all the national office bearers. Tell us a little bit more about the new people on board.
Okay, so the first deputy president is Sheikh Adam Macheso. He's from the Islamic Dawah movement. He has been on the National General Council as well as on the board for a few years now. We've got Sheikh Riyad Fattah, who is from the Muslim Judicial Council. He's the second deputy president. We've got Hassan Chunara, who's the secretary general of the organization, also served for many years on the organization. The assistant secretary general, Brother Yusuf Kassem from OCAF, South Africa. He's also served for, I think, the last 4 years or so on the organization. Going on to the treasurer, we've got Brother Asif Isup from the Muslim Youth Movement. He's been in the Treasury Department for many years, alhamdulillah, so we're fortunate to have his knowledge and experience with us. Assistant Treasurer is Imam Shamil Basrin from Majlis Shura in Cape Town. On the NGC for many years, alhamdulillah, been elected onto the board. And then looking at the other three board members, the first board member being Shaheen Isup. I think everybody knows Shaheen Isup, served as the president, the secretary for many years in the organization. A lot of wealth, a lot of knowledge. We've got the second board member, Hafiz Ismail Kovaja, also a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, the head of mission for the last 15 years. The third board member being Kari Musa Stirat from Islamic Research Center. And he's also being one of the founding members of the organization. So there's lots and lots of knowledge and experience. And then we cannot forget our administrator, Yasira Ali, who's in the organization for over 17 years already. So alhamdulillah, there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. And we looked at succession planning for the organization. And yeah, this is where we are. And we've got a strong team on the board. And also within the NGC, members that play a pivotal role in the organization and prefer to remain in the back end, in the background, doing all the hard work. So collectively, as an organization, 25-member organization, we've got a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise, a lot of members that are serving the guests of Allah. So yeah, we are very proud to serve the guests of Allah and be provided the opportunity to serve at the highest level.
Alhamdulillah. I see that you still have to appoint chair people of Johannesburg, KZN, and Cape Town. Are we likely to see any sisters in those positions? Because apart from Yasira, there aren't any females represented at SAHUC. Or
Okay,
are
so
there people in
how
the
it's going to
background?
Gee, so we've got three positions. Obviously, the personal regional chairperson that will be elected from the various regions. They've got 21 days to host their regional AGMs and nominate and elect the chairperson of the region. The chairperson of the region will therefore come onto the board. It all depends on the regional structures. Will they nominate females from within their regions? That is up to the regionals to decide. Yes, there are few sisters within the National General Council. What we found is some of them prefer not to get involved on a higher level. They prefer to be in the background. But I don't want to preempt anything. We're not too sure what may happen. I mean, those elections and nominations are still to start. The process haven't even started. So we'll have to wait and see, inshallah, over the next.
Okay, Hafiz, can you hear me? Your picture is just frozen. Are you back with me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can now. Let's talk about you being at the helm now. Just tell us a little bit about your past experience and how it's going to be holding you in good stead in your current position, inshallah. And do you have, what your plans look like going forward?
Okay, so just over 10 years ago, I joined the organization. In 2014, I went for Hajj. That was my first and only first Hajj I performed with my wife. And I think for the listeners, I'm not too sure if I mentioned this on Salam Media before, but I was one of those who kept on
Okay, your picture keeps
towards the
freezing.
Haji. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you start over again, please? Because I lost everything you were trying to say.
Okay, so just about 10 years ago, I joined the South African Hajj and Umrah Council. I performed my first Hajj in 2014, alhamdulillah, and that was my only Hajj that I have performed. Prior to going on Hajj, I was one of the so-called detractors against this organization. Yes, I was one of those that complained more than once about the accreditation process, about the unfairness towards me as a Haji, as I waited my turn in the queue. I also questioned what systems does SAHUC have, who do they think they are to tell us whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had plans for me during my Hajj. This very same organization that I complained about, the SAHUC mission team in particular, that changed my perception and earned my respect for this organization. I then related to my wife that, you know what, I got to come home and make a difference. I got to eat humble pie and go and help SAHUC and play my part in making a difference to give this organization the credit they deserve. Alhamdulillah, as I am here today before you as the president of this organization, my niyyah remains the same. I joined SAHUC around end of 2014, early 2015. I served at the regional structures as the regional secretary. Then I was nominated and elected as the Secretary General on a national level. I served as the Assistant Secretary General. I have served in various committees within the organization, from the National Hajj Accreditation Committee. I was involved in the National Operator Committee. I've been part and parcel of the committee, IT committee. So yes, I have served on various committees within the organization, and I've also been fortunate enough and privileged to be taken on various protocol meetings to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So you have a very overall view of the way SAHUC runs. That's really good. But going forward, are you planning on making any changes, any huge changes that may have an impact on SAHUC as an organization and prospective Hujjaj going forward?
I think one of the highest focus points for us at SAHUC is to look at improving service delivery to the Hujjaj, both as well relationship
Hafiz Moaaz
both in South
Casoo,
Africa.
this line, all right, the line is very bad. Let's try one more time. If we can recapture what you were saying just a minute ago. I'm really sorry, but we blame it on Eskom. We blame it on Eskom, right? Okay, back to you.
Okay, one of the highest focus points for us at SAHUC is to improve the service delivery for the Hujjaj, both here in South Africa as well as in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We've got to strengthen our working relationship with the travel operators, the stakeholders here in South Africa as well abroad in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I think the most important thing is to try and find mechanisms and ways for improving the cost of Hajj. Not to say that we haven't been doing so in the past. Just to shed some light, earlier this year we went on protocol meeting with the Hajj. The meeting that we had to discuss pricing, we rejected the offer and we negotiated and the price was reduced. Alhamdulillah, we put it forward to the Hujjaj. Yes, we understand it's still excessive and it's expensive. We are continuously fighting this battle for pricing. But one thing the Hujjaj must also understand is our rand is not strong. Against the real is sometimes 4, close to 5, if not over 5 to 1, just as a starting point. Secondly, since Saudi Arabia Airlines has not yet resumed in South Africa their flights, it becomes very excessive for the Hujjaj, whether you're traveling for Hajj or Umrah. And we found the tickets were in the price range between 20 to 25,000 rand per person.
Sure.
Now, we've heard the good news that Alhamdulillah, Saudi Airlines will be resuming in December and January. We make dua that they continue further so they could have more competition in the market and hopefully the pricing will be reduced. When it comes to the 5 days of Hajj, yes, it is excessive. We are fighting that battle and we'll continue fighting that battle for price reductions. When we look at the pricing in Mecca, Medina, for peak time that people go, obviously Hajj being a peak time in a Muslim community, we got to understand relative to what other nationalities are paying. And also if you compare going to Durban or Cape Town in December during peak time, our pricing for hotels that the operators are offering are very competitive. So the key thing here to focus on is how are we going to reduce the 5-day cost and the airline cost. If we can get that right, then we can then focus and see of betterment in terms of hotels and pricing of hotels. Now, there is options on the table. We've got to keep in mind that this year, the flight was in the range of under 50,000 rand. Only one Haji took that package.
I think we're going to have to cut it there. Unfortunately, we can't seem to proceed further because Hafiz Moaaz Casoo's picture keeps freezing. We'll try and redo this interview later in the week. We do apologize for that. It's an important discussion. We will continue, inshallah, maybe tomorrow or the day after, but the network is really very problematic. So I think we'll cut it there. If you can hear me, Hafiz Moaaz Casoo, I do apologize. I'm not sure if it's on my side or your side, but the line is very bad. We'll try and pick up with you tomorrow, Wednesday, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum to you. It's 9:28 News and Views on Salam Media. We're moving along and we are now going to try and speak with Craig Lambinon. He's with the National Sea Rescue Institute, and we're going to talk about the spring tides, the devastating spring tides which have hit the Western Cape.